The mountains are calling. As cliched as it may sound, the feeling never gets old. The shining winter sun lighting up the snow-laden mountains and that chill in the air. Fascinating, isn't it? Well, that's exactly where we are headed to. And no, it's not just a regular drive to the mighty Himalayas. This time, we are on an expedition.
Over 1000 kilometers and temperature is gonna go down to minus 30 degrees. This is what the Spiti Winter Expedition is about. The next 7 days seem to be very promising for us, and we have been told that this is not a leisure trip by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it is gonna be a true test for man and machine, but we have been promised a memory and experience of lifetime. The companion with us is the Isuzu MUX. The car is all decked up, all stickered, and we are in the full rally mode.
Well, this time we are not going alone, but with a rather long convoy of 60 cars and all 4x4s. The first day in Shimla was basically for prepping up our cars and ourselves. While the scenes were more party than prep, there were some very important instructions for us as we were to encounter slippery terrain which included soft snow and black ice where usage of brakes was minimal.
You have to understand how to tackle situations where you have to not use the brake, because if you use the brake, you are just going to go where the gravity will take you.
The training basically involved going up and down the hill depending just on the gear shifts and clutch operation in 4x4 low, taking full advantage of engine braking. And yes, the basics for all drivers irrespective of the vehicles was same. So be it the Thars, Fortuners, Endeavours, Isuzus, or even the Jeep Wrangler and the 2000 model Toyota Hilux from Nepal, we all followed one thumb rule. And making all this possible is the Mountain Goat team who plan and organize such expeditions with support from Himachal Tourism, Mobile India, Yokohama and Culture among others. And yes, we had quite a lineup. Just seeing such a big convoy gives you a different sense of joy and confidence. Now, we were off to Kinnaur via Kufri and the landscape was changing dramatically.
So we are heading towards Kalpa now, and the temperature that's gonna drop down. Today what we are expecting is around minus 4 degrees, and that's not gonna be a problem either for the SUV or for us, because that's not extreme yet. The extreme for this terrain is minus 10 and beyond that. That's when the true test of man and machine starts. How your engine is gonna respond, how you are going to respond in low altitude and in that kind of a weather is something that we will be testing today.
Now Kalpa is at a height of over 2800 meters above sea level, and you feel it the moment you step out of the car. The moment you cross the Khab confluence where the Spiti and Sutlej rivers meet, the entire landscape changes, and oh boy, the going gets so exciting.
You can see we are facing all kind of situations. There are shooting stones falling on our windscreen. We were just now stuck in a landslide and we have to give BRO a big thumbs up. They have cleared it in no time, and even the road that they are constructing is stellar.
The weather and the altitude tested our mettle, but honestly so far it all seemed very doable. What was also very reassuring was the constant assistance from the Mountain Goat team over our walkie-talkies. When to engage the 4x4 system, what speed to maintain, when not to use the brakes, when to speed up or slow down, when to overtake, when not to overtake, and constantly alerting us of the oncoming traffic. They had everything covered. Well, this stretch was particularly exciting and prompted us to test the dynamics of a 4x4 to the limit.
The biggest challenge as we climb up is that the oxygen is getting thinner and our car has dropped its power by around 30%. We as person, even we are in a similar situation.
And then finally came D-Day. The convoy was now marching on to Kaza, the highest township on earth, where we were to spend the next 2 days at an altitude of over 4,000 meters above sea level. So, to tackle these terrains safely and in sync, we were asked to set our odors to 0. All vehicles in the convoy now had the same reading and the convoy was alerted of the obstacles before approaching them. All of it seems worth it the moment you get there. The spectacular view of the frozen Spiti river welcomes you to the valley. Well, alcohol came to our rescue in such low temperatures. Our cars got literally drunk to survive. We had to pour vodka in the Viper fluid box as alcohol's freezing point is much lower than water. We also had to keep our cars running when the temperature dropped, and some manual labor was required to clear up ice from the wheel well.
So as fascinating as it may seem from a distance, but life here is not easy. Electronic appliances, they don't work and you wake up to temperatures like minus 20 degrees and beyond. And you are dependent on these kind of stuff, for your daily chores.
But you come to terms with all the struggle the moment you wake up to a view like this. In Kaza, we were promised 2 days full of fun and adventure in the snow, but not before we tanked up our SUVs at the world's highest petrol station.
So we have started from Kaza and we are on our way to Kyoto. And today we'll be crossing Hikkim and Langza on the way. As we are climbing up, the terrain is getting even more challenging. You are slowing down because the altitude is taking a toll on you. But what makes up for everything, for all of it, is this surreal view around me. The Himalaya is in its complete glory, covered with snow.
Yes, these snow-laden mountains alone were enough to give us butterflies in our bellies, and we had them in abundance. Kyoto is about 42 kilometers from Kaza, and it easily took us around 3 hours to cover this short distance.
The terrain is really slippery and you have to be in complete command of the car, you have to be in complete command of the steering wheel.
We were to encounter slippery terrains which included soft snow and black ice, and here where usage of brakes had to be minimal.
The ideal thing to do here is always be very gentle with your throttle input and with the braking, because just a slight, even the slightest of the shove can get your vehicle slide, and that can be a situation where you can be stuck for a long time.
But thankfully, all of us made it without any fuss, and in Kyoto, we also got a taste of the local culture as well. It was not the usual winter chill we have experienced in cities. It was freezing, but the captivating scenery made up for everything.
So it's our last day in Kaza and we were on our way to Pin Valley, but we have been stopped midway because the roads are closed due to heavy snowfall, of course. But we are again doing the same stretch that we did yesterday. We are now on our way to Langsa and Hikkim. And again, what keeps us going is the challenging terrain that we enjoy driving in, and obviously the mystical mountains. They are our constants.
Some of us were a bit sad for not being able to make it to Pin Valley, but what came next literally made us forget everything. The Mountain Goat team pulled off a wonderful surprise and took us to a snowfield at Langsa top for some snow bashing. By now, all participants were very well acclimatized and had got the knack of driving in these terrain.
So this is the ultimate fun, guys, for which we are here in Langsa. Drifting in the snow, testing the true potential of our 4x4s and the Isuzu MUX. It just doesn't break a sweat. Awesome experience.
What an incredible and exhilarating start to the day it was. We all had our share of fun going absolutely bonkers. Drifting around and chasing each other, while some of us also managed to get stuck and had to be rescued. With that done, rest of the convoy headed back to Kaza to relax and ease off, while we went further up to Komik, which is the world's highest motorable village, as our expedition came to an end.
So we are at our final destination in Komik and we are literally at the top of the world at an altitude of around 4,587 meters above sea level. Behind me is the Sakya Tangir monastery. That's the highest monastery in the world, and this is the highest place where civilization still exists. Now, the route here has been challenging, the scenery has been beautiful, the view is absolutely surreal. We'll be going back to Shimla now, and before we proceed, just one word for our Isuzu. Any other SUV of this class can give you the comfort and can do the 4x4 job, but the amount of beating this can take is unparalleled.
Yes, we just threw the MUX to the wild, and at no given point were we gentle with it. Still, the Isuzu MUX took all in its strides quite handsomely. What a gratifying experience it's been, covering a variety of terrains, tasting some lip-smacking local food, getting to meet new people, rescuing cars, and last but not the least, surviving such extremely low temperature.